I'd like to introduce you to what I'm calling the concept map for the control and regulation of blood pressure. I realize there's a lot of material on here. I want you at this point, however, just to focus on the overall schematics and not looking at all the details. So let's just take a look at this. We have the right side of the heart receiving and sending out deoxygenated blood, and we have the left side of the heart receiving and sending out oxygenated blood. At the top here, we have the lungs. This is where there's going to be a diffusion of oxygen into the blood. And as discussed in the previous Explain Everything presentation, blood flow to and from the lungs is known as the pulmonary circulation. Down at the bottom here, what you have to envision is that this is where the system is. This is the systemic circulation. And this is where we're going to have exchange with the cells. Now, what I didn't draw on here was an actual cell, so we can just envision that there's a cell here. And what's going to be happening now is that there's going to be an exchange, there's going to be a diffusion of oxygen from the blood into the cells. This is going to be occurring at the capillary beds. So these are the smallest blood vessels, and this is where the actual exchange of oxygen and CO2 is going to occur. So once again, just looking at the overall schematics, we have the pulmonary circulation at the top, to and from the lungs, and then we have the circulation to and from the cells via the systemic circulation. Following the flow of blood through the heart via the systemic and pulmonary circulation, let's start at the cells. So the oxygen has been removed from the blood, so blood leaving the cells is going to be deoxygenated, returning to the right atrium. The blood then goes through the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle and then leaves the pulmonary semilunar valve to go via the pulmonary artery to the lungs. At this point, it becomes oxygenated, returns to the heart via the pulmonary vein to the left atrium, is then going to go through the bicuspid or mitral valve, and then leave through the aortic semilunar valve into the aorta. From there, it is then going to be circulated to the cells, and at the capillary beds, the oxygen will then diffuse out of the blood into the cells, and the blood then leaving is going to be deoxygenated.